everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. My name is Dylan and thank you so much for coming by. The Rideshare Hub is a place for Uber and Lyft drivers to learn how to make more money. So what better thing to talk about is 10 ways to increase your tips as a driver. This is super important, and honestly, probably the #1 reason why I do like driving for Uber and Lyft is that the better you are as a driver, the more tips you can make. And you know, the sky's the limit. You can make so much more tips, and I've learned some really cool secrets to make more tips. So I'm gonna go over them today. Here are 10 ways to make more tips as an Uber and a Lyft or any rideshare company driver. And before I get into that, please hit the thumbs up button if you like driving Uber and Lyft, or if you like making extra money. If you want to support me becoming a YouTuber, I just really do appreciate it if you just tap the thumbs up button. And if you also want to subscribe, so you will be notified every single time I do post videos. All right, so now without further ado, let's get right into the video, guys. Here are 10 ways to increase your tips as an Uber and a Lyft driver. #1, this is by far the best thing you can do, is use these. There's two things for this one. This is a two-part one. Is use Play Octopus and Cargo. Play Octopus is a tablet company. They provide you with a free tablet for your passengers to play games on. It's crazy. It's insane. I made a video about that already, so you can check it out. You know, just type in Rideshare Hub Play Octopus and you can find it. Or maybe I'll just leave a link in the description or to sign up if you want. And then Cargo. So yeah, so basically I was saying with Play Octopus, your passenger could play games on it. I'm sorry, I was just hauling a bunch of stuff, so I took all my Uber and Lyft stuff out. That's why my trunk is, or my back seats are down. But Play Octopus, your passengers can play games on it. It's super fun for them, and it definitely will increase your tips as well. Cargo is another one. They put a little box right here with food. There's free food samples on there. I mean, who doesn't love free food? And your passengers can buy extra, like, bigger snacks like power bars and stuff too. And like gum and snacks, and also you make a little bit of money through that as well, but it mostly just increases tips because, you know, who doesn't love food? So definitely recommend doing those. Again, I will leave links to sign up for those. The second one is super important, is smile. This one I learned, this is like a hack. You know, I just graduated from college, you know, go Bears. I just graduated from UC Berkeley, actually. You know, and during my time there, a lot of times the parking was just really bad. I really just wanted to go down the street or to a local cafe, and I just didn't feel like having my car with me all day, and especially, you know, in and out of classes. So a lot of times I would just take an Uber or a Lyft, and after hundreds of these trips, I would say less than 1% of my drivers actually smiled. And I'm serious, like after like 300 rides, probably only 3 of my drivers ever really smiled at me. Most of the time I just get in, they wouldn't even say my name or anything, and they just start driving, which, you know, is that, like, after a while, you know, you just get used to it. You don't expect a driver to be nice to you. But, you know, if you're watching this, you can be like literally that 1%. And, you know, every time I drive, I always look at them and smile. These are ways that I get tips on almost every single ride. Like if you go through my app, like it's like $5 here, $3 there, $5 here, $10 here. Like, no joke, guys. Because what I do is, and this is another like safety trick that I do, but also leads to more tips with this one, smiling. But every time I pull up to them, I always say, "Hey, are you here for an Uber and Lyft?" And you can tell I'm already smiling, and they go, whatever platform I'm driving for. I won't say Uber or Lyft. I'll just say, "Hey, you're here for a Lyft?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, I am." And I'd be, "Great, what's your name?" That way, you know, you verify it's the correct passenger. You don't just assume you have the correct passenger, if you get me. But I'm smiling and I'm engaging them already before they're even in my car. And they see that I'm going out of the way to make sure I do have the correct passenger. And they'll be like, "Oh, I'm Rebecca." And I'll be like, "Great, Rebecca, you're my rider. You can get right in. Let me open the door for you," because I always keep my doors locked. And they get in, I look at them in the eye. Now I already know their name. And I go, "Hey, Rebecca, how are you today?" And they're like, literally like, "Oh my gosh, you were so nice." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, are you having a good day? What can I do to make it better? You know, where are we heading today?" And we go, and this helps with so much tips. So definitely smile and use their name. All right, #3 is a clean car. This is probably super important. If you guys have seen any of my other videos, I try to say that don't worry about the outside of your car so much. You know, maybe wash your car maybe once or twice a week at most on the outside, but on the inside, keep a little portable vacuum. You know, you can get one on Amazon for like 10 bucks. It's a tax write-off too. And, you know, clean the inside of your car. Make sure that your car is clean on the inside and smells good. I use a charcoal bag that is an odor eliminator, so my car doesn't smell like anything. I usually do get like one little tiny vanilla scent thing, and it says only use it for like a week. It's disposable. I'll leave it in there for like a month or two. That way it's just very soft vanilla, and then again, like just super clean inside is super safe. It helps a lot for tips. Number 4 is driving safely. This is so important. I mean, when you're driving, it's a dangerous task, you know, dangerous activity is driving. Like, people get into accidents all the time, and what leads to more tips is your passenger knowing that you are providing a safe ride. If they feel safe, they will tip you. If they don't feel safe, they won't tip you. And like I said, you know, referencing back to when I was in college, like, I took rides so much, and a lot of times I had drivers just speeding around, like, don't even care. Like, I get in and they're taking off before I even have the chance to put my seatbelt on. Like, they're running you know, red lights, you know, stop signs, like they're making illegal U-turns, driving straight when it's like, it says you know, like ride only. Like in LA, there's a lot of streets that are like, or whatever I'm saying. Like, just, if you can drive safe, every time I get a safe ride as a passenger, I always tip, hands down. You know, if I feel safe, I'm gonna tip him, you know, because that's like, nowadays, most drivers are crazy drivers out there, which is crazy. Like, if, you know, seeing the statistics on like fatalities and accidents and people like get into accidents so much, you know, it's so expensive to get into an accident. People still drive like, you know, nutso. So if you can be a safe driver, your passengers are much more likely to tip you. Okay, number 5 is loading groceries and luggage. I didn't really do this too much at first, you know, I thought, whatever, you know, they probably won't tip me anyway. But now I just do it, I don't even expect a tip. Like, if I pull up and they're at a Walmart, a great example, the other day I was picking up a guy at Walmart, and like, you know, most people are like, oh, screw Walmart, I always decline Walmart pickups, and like, but anyways, I go to the Walmart, and I pick up a guy, you know, he has a grocery cart, and you know, it's not that full, you know, I had like 3 bags, right? And I'm like, cool, whatever. And he had like 2 bags and a case of waters. And so I pick him up, and it's like 5-minute ride, you know, nothing big deal. It's like $5 ride, like super cheap. And I pick him up, go there, get there pretty quickly. We're talking, you know, pretty vibing out on the way. He sits in the front seat, you know, he's right here with me. You know, he's my co-pilot at this point. We're like best friends, right? And we get there, and he actually loaded the car for himself, pretty much. I helped him with like a case of waters. And we get to his house, and he has to like walk to his door, right? To his front door. And but it's like an apartment complex, so he has to walk through like another apartment to get to his place. Or it's like condominiums. And he was like, I was like, oh, you're gonna be able to carry that? And he's like, oh, I'll just come back. And I'll be like, oh, I can carry it for you if you want. And he's like, oh, sure. And so I carry a case of water, so it's like 30 waters, you know. I mean, it's definitely carryable, so I end up carrying it for him to his door, and so he doesn't have to come back for the second trip. And I carry it for him, and we're talking, we're hanging out, like, yeah, we're pretty much hanging out in front of his door, and we're talking, and you know, I don't go inside his house, obviously. I just set the waters down. I go, we're talking, I say, all right, you know, have a great day. And you know, he doesn't hand me a cash tip or anything, and I'm thinking, oh, you know, cash tip would have been nice, but whatever, you know, who cares? I go during my day, and then like 30 minutes later, I look at my app. He tipped me $10, and I was like, either $5 or $10, and I was like, dang, that's sweet. That $5 ride just tripled in price for me. So really do like that. You know, at airports too, it's just something to do if, you know, if you don't mind picking up. Obviously, if like, you know, I don't know, if you have some disability that prevents you from doing it, you don't have to, but it is like a nice gesture to do for sure. And a lot of times people do like throw a couple bucks for doing that. The next one, this is super important. Mini water bottles. I personally do not do this, but I know a lot of people who do, and they swear by it. They say, you know, I'll buy a 30-pack of waters for $3, and I get a tip almost every single time somebody takes a ride, a water. And what you want to do, the best way to do it is don't keep your waters out in the back. You keep them up front with you, or even in your center console. And every time you get a passenger, you say, hey, do you want a water bottle? And they're like, oh, sure. And you just reach out, grab them a water bottle and hand it to them. That way it seems more like a transaction, and in their head they're like, oh, I should probably give them a few bucks for that. Rather than just leaving it out, they take it, you know, they don't even, you don't even know that they took it, so they'll just kind of take it secretly on their way out. It's almost like, it's not like stealing, but like, if you get my mentality there, if they're like aware that you're going out of your way to give them one, they feel it's much more personalized, and it's like more of like a transaction. So that does lead to more tips. All right, number 7, opening your door for passengers. If you pull up to somewhere and they're not there right away, or if I don't know, like if you pull up to somebody's house and you see them like walking towards your car, get out of your car and open the door for them and say, hey, how are you? You know, open the door for them. That will make them feel like, wow, this guy is like super legit. I've never had anyone open. You want to like go out of your way and provide this wow factor. The wow, I've like, if you ever worked in sales, like a, you know, like a sales company that's super hype, and you know, they're trying to, you know, you work off commissions, or I don't know, whatever. If you work for like a successful sales company, a lot of times they'll say provide a wow factor, provide a wow experience, so that they feel like dang, like this guy's going way out of his way for me. Let me buy the product, or whatever it is that you're selling. But in this case, it's like, oh wow, let me give him a tip for that. He went out and actually stood out and opened the door for me. Dang, that's amazing. I feel like that's like a VIP experience. So I know the Rideshare Professor, shout out to Rideshare Professor, I think he called his philosophy on rideshare driving is providing a spa experience, a spa on wheels. So like providing a VIP, you want to make your passenger feel like VIP. So that's like I said, you know, stepping out of your car, opening, you know, loading up his groceries for him, you know, making sure you like ask him, hey sir, you know, treat your passengers like royalty, and like that leads to a lot more tips. So all right, the next one is talking to your passengers. This one is super important. Stay tuned to the next one, number 9. This one goes hand in hand with this one, but number 8 is talking to your passengers. This is probably the number 1 way you're going to get more tips, is engaging with your passengers and creating a personal connection. If you can create an emotional connection, that's even better. If you're talking to your passenger, you know, this isn't going to work for everybody, but I would say maybe 1 out of 5 rides, you're going to get somebody who's like very talkative. They're asking you about, you know, how long, and oh, this is a good one. So, somebody commented on in my Facebook group, say, every time I get, almost all my riders ask me how long I've been driving for Uber. If another person asks me, I'm gonna tell them to get out of my car. Guys, calm down. If somebody asks you how long you've been driving, all they want to do is, that's basically them saying, hey, do you want to have a conversation, without being like, hey, do you want to have a conversation? That's just the easiest question for a passenger to ask a driver, is how long you've been driving. And then after that, you know, if they're asking you how long you've been driving, you're, you know, sure as heck able to ask him, or answer them, oh, I've been driving for a year. And then maybe, oh, what do you do for a living? Because basically now he's asking you about what you do for a living. You can just fire that right back. And then if you start having a conversation with them, you know, he might say, oh, you know, I work at McDonald's. You can be, oh, no way, I love McDonald's. If you do, you know, don't lie about them. But you say, you know what, I love McDonald's. You know, my sister works for McDonald's. Whatever. If you can create some like connection with them, like an emotional connection, that will lead to a lot more tips. So just talking to your passengers and being genuine and nice. But here, like I said before, number 9 is not talking to your passengers. When I first started, I tried to talk to every single passenger, which was a huge mistake. Because like I said before, like a lot of passengers just want to get in, they want to sit back on their phone, or they're with their friend and they're just talking. They don't want you to talk to them. They just want to get from point A to point B. And I want to honestly say I've made most of my tips by not saying a word and just providing a safe and smooth, comfortable ride, which is weird to say, because I think because so many drivers just try to talk their passengers' ears off, that or like they're just like a bad driver, or like their car smells or something. But like, if you can just be a simple, good, nice, safe, smooth driver, like, you know, you're not talking to them, you're being super safe, super smooth, and super, like, everything is just good. Like, I think that will like blow your rider out of the water, and they will tip you for that. Like one time I picked up my passenger, it was in the morning, like at 6 a.m. or something, and I drove him like 30 minutes to work, and he tipped me like $5 or $10 after that, just because, you know, I didn't even say a word to him. But again, it was a safe, smooth ride, and he enjoyed it. Okay, number 10, this is the last way to increase your tips. It's just going out of your way for your passengers. I said this earlier, but basically it's the wow factor. I'm just gonna say it, but it's going out of your way for your passenger. That could be anything. That could be playing the right song, you know, asking your passengers. If you have a group of partiers, you can say, hey, you know, what's your guys' favorite song? Let's play your favorite song. Or if somebody says, hey, do you mind if we stop by the liquor store or something? And, you know, that's going out of, or like going through the drive-through. Again, I usually say don't go through the drive-through, but maybe if there's like 1 or 2 cars and your driver really wants to go, you know, play, like, it's your call. You know, you can either say yes or no, but going out of your way for your passengers will definitely lead to more tips. So those are my 10 tips to make more money. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. It helps me out so much. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, so please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you want to see more videos about rideshare, about Uber and Lyft, so you can be a better rideshare driver or a better rideshare passenger. You know, let's learn about rideshare together. You guys are great. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. You know, the Rideshare Hub has become a really cool, you know, small group of people like watching these videos together, commenting. See some great conversations down below. We're up to like 17,000 subscribers so far, which is pretty nuts. But yeah, let's hurry up and try to get to 100,000. So make sure to subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for more videos. All right, I'll talk to y'all soon, guys. All right, bye.